the list. I don't get a promotion, so let's impress. So impress.
Embarrassing. Yeah.
Embarrassing, yes.
Okay, so everyone in your company, in your office, have been expecting you to get
Y-
promoted, right?
yes.
And you didn't get it, so yeah, I know. Oh my.
So, I don't know, maybe somebody always
Uh huh.
to guess, yes, guess guess this and guess that,
Mhm.
this man and that woman, yes,
Mhm.
but just a guess.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Okay. Do you have any idea why you didn't get the promotion?
I don't know.
And yeah, and you didn't bother to ask, right?
hmm hmm But I think that's okay because the promotion, the supervisor maybe must be busier,
Mhm.
yes, so that's okay.
Okay.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, sometimes no matter how much we want something, when it's
hmm
not our time and our
hmm
turn yet, then no
hmm
matter how much we want it, we're not
hmm
going to get it, right?
Yes.
Mm, okay.
So maybe next promotion will be better.
Yes, who knows? Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Yes.
Okay, that's the right attitude. It's okay to feel depressed or to feel bad, but
Mm,
then again, who knows? There is something bigger waiting for you
mm,
out there, right?
yes.
So,
So I depressed a little. Now that's okay.
okay, yes. I know that promotions are very important because it will give you an increase in salary, right? And
Yes.
plus other benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I recall I
Mm-hmm.
have another student who has also been looking for a promotion. And
Oh
then
yeah.
almost every time we have a class, he would give me an update. I spoke to the boss, I spoke to this because, I just want to know if I can get the promotion. And
Mm-hmm.
finally, he did.
Oh
Yes, he
yes,
did. And I
yes,
was happy
yes,
for him, because
yes.
imagine we've been having, he's been my student for more than a year, and he has
Mm-hmm.
started telling me about his expectation to get promoted since last year. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine,
Oh.
the feeling he must be feeling, like waiting,
Mm-hmm.
the anticipation of whether he was going to get it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But like you, he also had a very positive
Mm-hmm.
outlook. He said, if I don't get the promotion, it's okay. I can try
Mm-hmm.
again next year. So I
Mm-hmm.
really like the way both of you responded, to
Mm-hmm.
your situations. Like, yeah, if we,
Oh.
if I get it, it's okay. If not, then
Oh.
maybe next time.
Yes.
Right?
Mm.
Okay,
I
that's the
wish.
spirit. Yes. I
Yes.
wish I wish that you will get it. I mean, not just the promotion that you're aiming for this year, but something even bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and better.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm?
I hope.
Okay. Yes. What about your fitness journey? You told me last week that you're trying to lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So how is your journey going on? Successful?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. That's really nice that you are
Mm-hmm.
successful in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, apart from what you told me, is there anything else that you want to share before we proceed to our lesson?
None. That's okay.
Okay. So, don't be depressed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just take
Okay.
it.
That's
Just be
okay.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
I think my I will let the depress pass.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. You
Mm-hmm.
will you will make the depression pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, let it
Yes.
pass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now let us proceed to our lesson. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So last Tuesday we talked
Mm-hmm.
about discussing more on using gestures when doing your presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Mm-hmm.
here we have an article, a very short one. I would like to listen to you read this
Mm-hmm.
to once again, help you
Okay.
with your pronunciation if there is any. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
need to. Okay, so,
Okay. People use gestures when they talk, but is this behavior learned from watching others move their hands when talking? Individuals who are blind from birth never seen such gestures and so have no model for just gesture um
gesturing.
gesture gesture gesturing.
Yes.
But here we show that congenitally blind speakers gesture dis- despite their lack of a visual model, even when they speak to a blind listener.
Mhm.
Gestures therefore require neither a model nor an observant partner.
Okay. So, two words: gesturing,
Gesturing,
okay, and observant.
observant,
Okay.
observant,
All right.
observant.
Okay, so are there
Hmm.
words here that you don't understand, or is everything clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Okay, so are
Hmm.
you the kind of person who uses your hands or plenty of gestures when conversing with somebody?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, is it something that comes naturally, or is it because you are used to using, or it's helpful to some people? They use hand gestures to express themselves or to
Hmm.
make a point because it helps them. What about
Yes.
you? Is it the same?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we can use the gestures to help us.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I
Mhm.
recall when I was in university and
Mhm.
I studied political science in university. So we
Oh.
often had
Oh.
debates, and we were
Mhm.
often asked by my professor to
Mhm.
explain concepts, theories,
Mm.
and we would always be asked to do an oral recitation in front of the class. So I
Mhm.
recall I used way too much hand gestures that
Oh.
one of my classmates, she held one of my arms,
Oh.
to control me from
Oh.
explaining. And then when I
Oh.
finished, she told me, she was my seatmate. She told me, "Hannah,
Oh.
I think
Uh.
you were nervous, right? Because your hand gestures were way too much." And I said, "I think so. Yeah, it was really nerve wracking."
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
she really held
Uh.
my arm, like, because she was sitting right
Yes.
next to me, and she held my arm like, "Hey, control yourself." Yeah, and
Actually, you are nervous.
yes.
Oh yes.
Yes, because I was nervous, and using my hands helped me control that
Uh-huh.
nervousness. Okay?
Uh-huh.
But then I thought about what she told me, and from
Mhm.
that time on I learned to control my
Mhm.
gestures.
Mhm.
It can be done, but
Mhm.
sometimes, these gestures just come naturally and we have no control over them. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. Now, let's talk about the questions here.
Mhm.
Okay. Question number one.
One verbal actions do you do during presentations?
Mhm.
I usually use gestures and and face expressions during presentations.
Okay, it should be facial. Facial.
Facial.
Uh-huh. Facial expressions
Mm-hmm.
during presentations. Okay. Do you
Facial.
think that facial expressions are necessary whenever you are conducting your presentations?
I think maybe our eyes,
Mm.
our eyes, to to look something
Uh-huh.
or look up or look down.
Yes.
uh,
Uh-huh.
that is the uh, impress.
Yes, that is
Mm-hmm.
important. Facial
Mm-hmm.
expressions are necessary or important because it allows us, right, to make a connection with
Mm-hmm.
our audience, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I will tell you something again when
Mm-hmm.
about facial expressions. I recall many years ago when English, in ESL classes
Mm-hmm.
became, we're starting to enter the world of English learning. Okay, that was in the early 2000s. So I was a fresh graduate, and one of my first jobs was to work face to face
Oh, face
teaching,
to
yes,
face.
teaching
Yes.
English to Korean students. And I
Mm-hmm.
recall my intention at that time was just to work part time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then the management asked me to open my morning classes as well because many students were asking to join my
Mm-hmm.
class. And at some point, I was wondering why. And
Mm.
then many
Yeah.
of my students, once they started establishing this friendship with me because they told me, teacher, you're not only my teacher, but you're like my friend, like a sister. So they started having that connection with me. And a couple of them told me, your energy is explosive. Like my
Mm.
classroom is two hallways away from your classroom, but I can hear you and you seem to have a very fun class. So that's why I want to join your class too. But my students, the one who are my main students, they refuse, to
Mm.
give the slot to them because they enjoy my class. And
Mm.
one memorable reaction from one of my students said, "You know why you are popular with your students? Because you
Mm.
look like a cartoon character." That's what he told me, and I was like, "Really? How? Why do you say that?" He said, "Because every feeling that you have, you're so transparent. I can
Mm.
see when you're happy. I can see when you're disappointed. When you're
Mm.
giving your lessons, I can see every single feeling that you're having inside." And he said, "Yeah, and that's why I just recall facial expressions really help you engage,
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
whoever, not just during presentations, but with whoever you are talking with. If, for
Mhm.
example, it is an audio class like the one that we're having, you're not seeing me, right, on screen, neither am I seeing you, but I have to put as much expression and feeling to my sentences, to the way I
Mhm.
speak, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's I can never forget that. He called me cartoon. I wonder where he is, but he was like one of my closest students. Yeah, and that was
Mhm.
many years ago in 2000. So now we are 2023, so you can say it's been, yeah, 20 years almost.
20 years. Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. And okay, now we have established that gestures are important because it allows us to, it helps us with our nervousness, right? So when we use hand gestures, it helps settle the nerves, and then facial expressions for us to connect with our audience.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, number 2,
Sure.
mannerisms. Huh?
Are there unnecessary mannerism that you do when you are in front of other people? Sometimes my fingers will unconsciously circle around repeat, repeat, repeatedly.
Okay, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Is the finger, the
Uh-huh.
one
Yes.
finger. Yes. Is the circle, repeat circle,
Oh,
move circle.
okay. Did somebody tell you that? Or did you realize it yourself?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
You realized it yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's understandable. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, someone talked to me. Maybe you are so nervous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nervous. Yes.
That your body automatically responded to,
Yes.
you know, your feelings at that time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pronounce this word again. It's unconsciously.
Unconsciously.
Okay, right. So, do you still do this? Your fingers circling repeatedly? Are you still doing
Uh,
this?
but I think I saw some
Mm-hmm.
people like this.
Okay.
Their fingers
Mm-hmm.
or hand will to uh turn around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Circle around,
Uh-huh.
repeat to um like to
Okay.
introduce something. Yes.
Uh-huh. So, well, the advantage is, or the positive side to it is, you're not the only one doing this,
Mhm.
right? There are other people doing it. Okay.
Yes.
For as long as it does not distract your audience or it doesn't bother the
Mm-hmm.
person you are presenting to or you're talking to, basically, then I don't see that it's a problem at all,
Mm-hmm.
right? Unless it becomes distracting, then that's where the problem comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so number three.
What is your opinion about a presenter who doesn't move much? I think a presenter who doesn't move much will reduce attract, attract, attractiveness for audience.
Right. So it's not attractive. It's attractiveness, a noun. Okay, attractiveness. Who doesn't move much will reduce attractiveness for the audience. Right. Not only attractiveness, but it will reduce. Yeah, you're right. It will reduce attracting, right,
Mm-hmm.
the audience. Okay. You'll probably say, "Oh, why am I here? I would rather be home right now if I could." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the presenter, usually who doesn't move much, is boring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So far, your answers are good. I just needed to change the form of some words,
Mm-hmm.
but
I
yeah.
think maybe some presenter
Mm-hmm.
they can use uh the register, and some they speak humor
Yes.
humor, then will attractive the program.
Uh huh.
Yes.
Right. If they
Mm-hmm.
crack jokes or make like some funny gestures, maybe, then that would definitely, perk up the audience or attract them to listen to him or to her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
anything else to add before I proceed to number four?
No.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Okay. What other non-verbal actions should we remember to do when present pres pre
Presenting.
presenting? Walking or gestures or facial facial expressions on stage are should we remember to do when presenting.
Then we can say pacing on stage using hand gestures and facial expressions
Facial expressions.
should be remembered when presenting. Right? When I say pacing on stage, it doesn't mean that just because you have the floor or you are on stage, that doesn't mean you are just to stand there in one spot, right? You should be able to pace like walk around on stage, use your hand gestures, and of course you need to have facial expressions, right? So when you have all these, then you're good. Okay, anything else to add?
No?
Okay, number 5 then.
What are usually misunderstood nonverbal actions? A deadpan face or no smile can easily come across as boring and misunderstood.
Okay, can come across as boring and can be misunderstood. Okay. Yes, a deadpan face. Absolutely. Imagine having a speaker in front of you with a flat face, no expressions at all. Right? It will make it very difficult for the audience to connect to him because it will make the audience unsure what is he thinking.
Yes.
Okay. Whereas if you have a speaker who is very engaging or speaks to the audience not only through the words that he utters but through the gestures, the nonverbal body language, then that is a more interesting speaker, right? Okay, so I think we're done with the questions. We can proceed to part 2, vocabulary check.
Okay.
So below we have a sample business presentation, and what you have to do is to complete the items here. Okay, so let's start. Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the Grand Hotel. Thank you all very much for coming.
Very good for coming.
Some of you travel a long way. Travel.
Is it travel?
Some of you traveled.
It's have traveled. Okay.
Have.
Yes. Some of you have traveled.
Oh,
This
have
is
traveled.
the right answer.
Okay. Have traveled a long way to hear us today.
Correct, to hear us today. Okay.
And I hope you all have good journey.
And I hope the right answer here is, and I hope that all
had
all have number
all
4.
have had.
Yes, all have had.
All have had
Okay. All have had good journeys.
So let me introducing myself.
Okay. It's only introduce. Let me introduce myself.
Oh, introduce.
Okay.
Introduce myself. My name is Robert D. Souza. And this is my associate, Martin
Dawes. Associate.
Okay,
very good.
The purpose of this presentations is explaining
It's to explain.
to explain
Okay.
to explain our business plans to you and hopeful to get you interested in investing
Right.
in our new company, Express Business Solutions. In my presentation, I hope
Yes, correct.
to do three things. First, I will give you.
Okay, very good. You will give.
I will give you a short summary of our main business idea. Then I will tell.
Very good. I will tell.
I'll tell you the findings of our market research that we have conducted.
Okay.
And finally we'll outline our financial requirements and plans, which should show you what a sound and exciting investment opportunity Express Business Solutions represents.
Okay, represents.
Represents.
Okay, very good. So you actually answered the blanks in the table correctly, but you know some of the items like here traveled. Okay, this is the right answer. Okay. And the rest are so far correct. Okay, and two, sorry. Should be green and there should be blue. Okay. Alright, so questions. Do you have questions?
No?
Okay. Let's proceed then to the next part, reading exercise. We will do a lot of reading in this part. Okay, so please. Part 3.
Okay. What do you do with your arms and hands when standing in front of group of people? Cross them in front of your chest. Clasp your hand.
Clasp. Yes.
Clasp your hands together, or thrust them into your pockets so they are neatly tucked away.
Tucked.
Huh?
Tucked.
Tuck
yes.
it. Tuck
Not
it
tucked.
away.
Tucked.
Tucked away.
Yes. So the
it's
final sound is T, okay?
tucked away. Yes. It's funny how we can suddenly be painfully aware of being exposed standing in front of an audience. Our primal instincts jump into action, and we unconsciously use our arms to protect ourselves. A natural reaction, yet totally unnecessary, and more importantly, it sends the wrong message to our audience.
Gestures.
Gestures, hand and arms movements are an important part of our visual picture when we speak in public. They are reinforcements of the words and ideas we can try to convey non-verb representations of how we feel. If we use gestures correctly, they will help us enhance our message and we will appear confident and relaxed. Use unconsciously or incorrectly, however, speaker can distract their audience or send the wrong nonverbal message.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Questions at this point?
Uh, dis, uh, dis, distractive gestures. Be a, be aware that nervousness of or feelings of in in that in that
Inadequacy.
inadequacy
Right.
can show immediately in your gestures. This can be very distracted and misinterpreted,
Misinterpreted.
misinterpret,
Ted.
mi- misin, misinterpreted.
Mm-hmm.
For example, hands on hips, uh, con, uh, condescend, uh, condescending,
Condescending. Uh-huh.
condescending pa,
Parental.
parental up, overbearing,
Bearing. Bear.
overbearing,
Right.
crossed arms, cutting off, disagreeing, one, wanting to protect,
Mm-hmm.
hands crossed in front, fig leaf, feeling weak, timid, needing protection,
Mm-hmm.
hands joined behind your back. You are on parade,
Parade. Parade.
parade, parade,
Okay.
parade. Hands in pockets, nervousness. This can result in
Jing-
journeying,
jingling.
joining any chance or kiss, making it even more obvious. You don't know what what to do with your hands. Now, if it is your intention to look nervous, uh, uh,
Condescending.
condescending, overbearing, weak, or protective, because your speak calls for it, then use these gestures, but do so with purpose. Most of the time, however, speakers are using these gestures unconsciously, so be aware of what you are doing with your arms and hands as it is sending a subconscious message to your audience.
Okay, so even this article mentioned that when and if we use the gestures correctly, it will
Mhm,
enhance our message and it will make us appear confident and relaxed.
mhm.
However, it also says here that if we do not learn how to control our hand gestures, then it may be misunderstood and could even be distracting to your audience, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So you need to learn or to know when and how to use your gestures
Gestures.
correctly
Yes.
or properly at the right time and the right pacing. Okay. So do you have any questions about the article?
I think about these attractive gestures,
Yes,
that's very important.
it is.
But sometimes we usually um 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 unconsciously seriously, yeah, unconsciously to do this behavior.
Right. Like we put our hands on our hips, right? We cross our hands, okay? And then
Yes.
we we put we join our hands behind our back. I often
Mm-hmm.
do this, by the way. When I am nervous, or when, well, for me it's not because I'm nervous, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel restless with my hands, with my arms,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So I
Mm-hmm.
always, like, put or join both my hands together and
Mm-hmm.
behind my back. Okay, so.
I think some the people will to put the put the put our hand to
Mhm.
the
Back.
mm, um to our body.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Right. There are people who do that. And
Mm.
most of the time, it's being done unconsciously, right? Like we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
no control. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we just did it without thinking or without being conscious about it.
Yes.
Okay.
So they like to argue somebody.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's right. Okay, so just take note of the important message that this article, okay, has said or wishes to express regarding gestures. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so let's try to answer the questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay. What reaction was considered natural but unnecessary when doing speeches? Questions. Maybe clasp our hands.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that is correct. Crossing or clasping our hands together, or
Mm-hmm.
unconsciously, the answer is here. Unconsciously using our arms to protect
Mm-hmm.
ourselves is a natural reaction. It's here in the second paragraph. Okay?
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
sorry, let me. Okay. See? Then we can write unconsciously using our arms. It says here, right? Using our arms to protect ourselves is a natural reaction, but totally unnecessary when doing speeches, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. We do that sometimes. We cross our arms when we're giving out a speech, but that is totally unnecessary and should be avoided as much as possible. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Question number 2 then. What are the two effects of gestures?
They are reinforcements of the words and ideas.
Right. So, to complete the sentence, the two effects of gestures are providing us reinforcements, right? Reinforcements. Reinforcements. Okay, to providing reinforcements to the words and ideas. Okay,
Yes.
providing reinforcements Of
and help us enhance our message.
yes, very good of the words and ideas we wish to convey and helping us and enhancing, right? Enhancing, let me go back to it, and enhancing our messages. Okay, enhancing our messages. Very good. But that is if we use gestures correctly, right?
Yes.
So that is the very important part of it. Okay. So in the article, it was mentioned, several distractive gestures were mentioned. Could you name them? The distractive gestures mentioned in the article are
The article, hands on hips,
right?
cross arms, hands of course in front, fig leaf, and the
Crossed arms, and then we can have fig leaf, yes.
yes, hands joined behind your behind
Your back.
behind back, hands in pocket.
Okay, your back and hands in pocket.
Pocket.
Many male speakers tend to put their hands inside their pockets, right? While giving out their speeches. To some people, it is distracting, but to others, it is not. So actually, it depends on the reception or how the audience reacts to it. Okay, but as they are considered distractive, then it's best to avoid them if you can. Okay, so this question requires your personal opinion about a person who puts his hands in his pockets during a speech. What do you think of such a person?
In the pocket. I think sometimes maybe nervous or helpless.
Puts his hands in his pockets, is nervous, is feeling nervous, you can say that,
Feeling nervous.
or helpless. Okay. So, you told me that you give lectures or presentations once a week in a particular school. So before doing your presentation, do you practice in front of the mirror, or do you practice your speech, or what preparations are you doing? Aside from the PowerPoint, okay, because we are talking about gestures here.
Yes. Or I think that's okay. Sometimes I will walk
Okay.
walk walk around the class.
Okay.
Yes.
And it helps, I think. It's much better than sitting in just one spot in
Yes.
class, right? I think for teachers inside the classroom, it is essential that the teacher moves around, like in the front to the back, and even in the spaces between the students' desks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you do that?
Yes. But
Okay.
when I was a student,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like I don't like our teacher
Mm-hmm.
um to step to step everywhere.
Okay. Oh, you didn't like it. Why?
Mm, because mm, maybe we we read another book. We read
Ah.
another novels
And you're not paying
or they
attention.
are use the phone.
Yes,
Yes.
or drawing, right? Yes. I know. I used to do that also. And one of the things that my classmates and I used to do when we were in high school was to pretend that we are reading the school book. When in reality, we have like the Archie comic book, or a comic book inside, and that's what we were reading in class. And we sometimes we we were too absorbed in reading the comic book that we don't notice the teacher is already behind us. And then what the teacher would do is to grab the comic book and then call us, to the principal's office, like you are behaving badly inside the classroom. You're not paying attention. Right.
Yes.
So I think you also experienced that during your
Mhm.
time. So, is there a particular teacher when you were in school that really left a huge impact in your life?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Who was that teacher and what subject did he or she teach?
Um, you mean teach teach us?
Yes, I mean, what was the subject that that teacher taught you? And why did the teacher leave such a huge impact in your life?
Um, uh, you means uh sorry
Okay,
your questions.
okay, let me repeat my question.
Mm.
Did you have a teacher back then who left a really good impression on you?
Oh. Mm. I think the teacher um but uh um but I like the teacher. I like teacher um to um use use their hand.
Uh huh.
Yes. Uh to in to to list maybe the bro- white broad
Ah, okay.
uh
So you
to
prefer
yes.
a teacher who
Hmm.
writes down the important points of the class or the lesson on the whiteboard.
Yes, white broad,
Okay.
yes.
So,
I think that's okay.
yeah, me too.
Hmm.
It's much better than having a
Yes.
teacher sitting in front of the class and
Hmm.
just talking, right,
Hmm.
without writing anything on the
Hmm.
whiteboard, right?
Yes. Hmm.
I
Yes.
had one teacher in high school. I
Hmm.
think she's one of the most memorable teachers in my life because
Hmm.
I liked the unconventional way she taught.
Hmm.
Sometimes she would teach us. She was so cool. Our
Oh.
class was English literature, and I love
Hmm.
English literature. So I think
Hmm.
she really left a big impact in my life because with the way
Yes.
she taught us, she would
Hmm.
sometimes, to make a point,
Hmm.
she would sometimes put her foot in one
Hmm.
of the chairs,
Hmm.
and then stare us right in the eye. It was something so cool. I really can't forget her. She was, I think, one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, she left to teach in the US,
Mm-hmm.
after just 1 year. I was really hoping to be
Mm,
under her class, in my
yes.
senior
Yes.
year, but she left for the US the following year, so I lost
Mm-hmm.
contact with her. But still, she was so cool.
uh, so he is a man or woman?
Oh, she was
She was
yes,
oh yes.
female teacher. She was really
A female
nice.
teacher. So
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So, it's been 25 years, I think, since I was last in high school, but I can still vividly remember her
Oh
and the way she
yes.
taught. So that
Mm-hmm.
means that can only mean one thing. She was one of a kind, right?
Yes. uh,
Okay. So, do you have questions at this point?
no, none.
Okay, as you don't have questions,
Mm-hmm.
we will end our class here, and next
Mm-hmm.
time we are going to start with the notable useful gestures. We're going to learn more about gestures.
Okay.
Okay, and I think we will be able to finish this material next
Okay.
week, and we will start with number 12. Okay?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right,
Thank
so
you.
thank you so much, too. Have a wonderful night and enjoy the rest of your week until we speak again. Okay?
Thank
You're
you. Bye
welcome.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.